Hello, here's a slightly different idea for Halloween. We're going to make a pumpkin. We're going to use the foil crescents, and obviously because they come in different sizes you then can get different sizes of pumpkin, but I'm going to go for the big one this time just to make it nice and powerful and obvious. I'm also changing the colours a little bit, so I'm going to use the white satin Lux to get a very classy and elegant pumpkin for a change. So you're going to need 8 or 9 balloons. It will depend a little bit on the size. The bigger ones tend to just use 8. The smaller ones may need an extra one, just because of the way when they're inflated, they're slightly different thicknesses. But nevertheless, even though I'm fairly confident I only need to use 8, I'm still going to put 9 in, because once these are attached together, it is extremely difficult to replace one if it happens to fail. So I'm going to preempt that and put a spare one in just in case. Take them out of the packets, lay them all out exactly one on top of each other so that all the points and the necks and everything all line up nicely. You need to put it together before you inflate. I did try inflating the balloons first. It simply is not worth the effort. It's really, really hard. So much easier to do it when the balloons are flat. And I've also pre-prepared a little bit here, and I've put a glue dot, still with its backing, on the end of every tail to make it easy to hide the tails at the end. We need to attach them together. You can bind them with modelling balloon, 260, string, ribbon, whatever, but I find that a cable tie works extremely well. So I'm going to use cable ties here, and I'm going to just take all the points like that, sort of concertina them together a little bit, and put a cable tie very tightly, a couple of centimetres in from the point. Because once you inflate the balloons, this point here where they're all attached is under a great deal of tension, and unless you've done it very, very tight, the whole thing can come apart again, which is very frustrating. So that's a cable tie gun, a cable tie tensioning tool that you can get from electrical suppliers, hardware outlets, but also quite a number of balloon distributors also stock them now as well. Do the same at the other end. So concertina them together, put your cable tie around, and tighten it up really tight. Now, because I have had this separate on me once before, and only once, I now like to just make doubly sure. So I'm going to pull the tips apart, fold them back, and put a second cable tie around to make absolutely sure that there is no way that these can come apart once the balloons are inflated. Same again at this end. So just literally separate the points a little bit, pull them apart, fold them back on themselves like that, and put another tie around. And then you can be 100% certain that it's nice and secure and is not going to surprise you by coming apart when you least want it to. There we go. One more thing before we inflate. I'm going to take a 260. I'm going to make a ribbon of it by squeezing all of the air out, tying at the end. I'm going to tuck it between the balloons and just tie it, because we're going to need an anchor point later, and this is it. Right, now we can inflate them. So just one at a time. I'm doing it with air because that way they're going to last for excuse me, a long time. Although if you do fill them with helium, it will fly, but I'm not quite sure why you would want that. and then just do them in sequence. So now doing the second one here. We are actually going to need the 9th one, so it's a good job it's there. This is quite well spaced, but there's still a small gap in between the balloons. So this 9th one will just push everything nice and tightly together. But do inflate this last one more carefully than the others, in case you don't need it really tight. And there we go, so it's closed up all the spaces, and now we've got this marvellous pumpkin shape. I'm going to just peel off the glue dot things now and stick the tails down. This is quite slippery. And almost there. Last one. And there's the pumpkin. Now inside here, there we go, there's the tying point that we attached earlier. It makes sense to put it on at the beginning because it's really difficult to get down in between these balloons now without damaging them. So attach that first and it will save you bother later on. Just need to decorate the top now. So I've created a set of 3 pumpkin leaves from the Satin Luxe Mint Green stars. If you go to the Decorator Hub on the amscan.co.uk website, you'll find another video that explains how to do these in detail. So you can find out from there how to create the leaves. Make 3, just tie them all together, and then we'll attach them to the top. We've got 3 curls of the Sempertex 260 Reflex Green, just to add the final details. Pull up on your anchor point and just wrap it around a few times to attach the leaves nice and firmly. And then just tweak them so that they sit how you want them to sit. I think I quite like them like that. That'll do. There you have it, a really big, really impressive pumpkin. It can be done in all sorts of different colours, and it's going to last for ages.